Imagine spending your life with someone, only to realize they might not be the perfect person you envisioned. But is that a mistake? Or part of the plan? Let's dig into why marriage is not about finding perfection, but embracing imperfection. Spoiler alert: you're likely to marry the wrong person, and that's completely okay. Hi everyone, today we're going to tackle one of life's biggest questions. Should I get married? Marriage is a promise filled with expectations, but often these expectations are set up to fail. Why? Because we're all wired to believe in an ideal that simply doesn't exist. Let's explore why marrying the wrong person might just be the most right decision you'll ever make. The myth of the perfect partner. We often enter relationships with huge hopes, driven by movies, fairy tales, and society's idea of true love. But here's the truth: no one is perfect. Everyone you meet is going to come with their flaws, quirks, and sometimes baggage. And guess what? So do you. We're all strange in our own ways, and we don't even realize it half the time. It takes years to discover the quirks that make us hard to live with. But acknowledging this is the first step toward understanding why finding the perfect partner is a myth. Expectations versus reality. Ever notice how small things can trigger huge arguments? Like getting mad at your partner for being 5 minutes late or losing their keys? That frustration often comes from unrealistic expectations. We expect life and love to be smooth and perfect. But when reality hits, we get mad. Why? Because deep down, we hope that love will be easy. When it's not, we feel disappointed. To have a successful marriage, we need to adjust our expectations and allow room for flaws and missteps. Why you won't marry the perfect person. The reality is that you're going to marry the wrong person because there is no right person. But this isn't a bad thing. It's actually liberating. Instead of searching for perfection, we should be looking for someone who's good enough for us. Being good enough doesn't mean settling. It means recognizing that your partner is just as human as you are, and that's a beautiful thing. Embrace the imperfections. They are what make love real and lasting. What we never learned about love. We often think love is just a feeling, something instinctive. But love is also a skill that needs to be learned and practiced. If you approach love like a craft, you'll be better equipped to handle the challenges that inevitably come. Love is about patience, understanding, and above all, communication. It's about interpreting your partner's actions with kindness, even when they mess up. Love is not about expecting perfection, but about learning to tolerate and appreciate the quirks and flaws that make each of us human. The power of vulnerability. Another key element of love is vulnerability. It's hard to admit that you need someone, but that's the very foundation of a strong relationship. Being able to say, "I can't do this alone, and I need you." Instead of putting up walls or pretending we're invincible, we need to let down our guard and show our true selves. This is often where the most beautiful aspects of love are born. Why compatibility is an achievement, not a given. Most people think compatibility means you meet someone who just gets you from the start. But compatibility is actually something that's earned over time. It's about learning how to work with each other's differences and quirks. You and your partner are going to argue. Everyone does. But those moments of conflict, when handled with grace, are opportunities to grow together. The goal isn't to avoid fights, but to navigate through them with understanding. The illusion of romantic intuition. We've been sold this idea that a perfect lover will understand us without us having to say a word. In reality, no one can read your mind. Expecting your partner to know how you feel without communicating is a recipe for disaster. So what's the solution? Communication. The more open you are with your partner, the stronger your relationship will be. Sulking, the silent relationship killer. Ever been so upset you decided not to say anything? just to see if your partner would figure it out? That's called sulking, and it's one of the most damaging things you can do in a relationship. Sulking leads to resentment and distance. If something is bothering you, speak up. Don't expect your partner to guess what's wrong. Good communication is the key to a healthy marriage. The beauty of compromise. Compromise often gets a bad rap. People think it means settling for less. But compromise is actually one of the most noble acts in a relationship. It shows that you value your partner and the relationship enough to find common ground. It's okay to stick around for the kids. It's okay to compromise because the reality is that love isn't always about getting what you want. It's about growing and adapting together. So, should you get married? Maybe, maybe not. But if you do, know this. You won't marry the perfect person, and that's perfectly fine. Marriage is about learning, growing, and compromising. It's about embracing imperfections and loving the whole person, not just the idealized version you once dreamed of. At the end of the day, love is messy, beautiful, challenging, and deeply rewarding. Embrace the journey and remember, it's not about finding the one, but about becoming the right person for each other. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Is marriage worth the journey?